and had old Rukeyser. Oh, I can't remember from what news program, but he was talking about the 1981. It was back in 1981 when he was announcing the news. And 1981 is the year that I started my in real estate investing. I was 19, and when I bought my first property. And one of the benefits of that recession at that time in 1981 is that was the owner financing that I was able to get. In other words, people were kind of desperate to sell, and those times may be coming again. Um, the interest rates back then were coming down from 12, 14%. I got my first loan at 10% interest. They did what was called an AITD. That's an all-inclusive trust deed, which a lot of people like to refer to as a wraparound, which, depending on what you wrap, you can be wrapping a note that doesn't allow it to be wrapped, and then they can call everything due, like a due on sale clause. There's stuff like that a lot of people aren't even aware of. But you'll learn about that stuff. And if you don't have my book, get my book. Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. If you can't get in the mentorship, I just raised the price on the mentorship up $500, and I'm about to jump it up again. I may go 500 or 1,000. It's a fantastic deal for the money. Nobody has as many testimonials as I have. I don't know any mentor out there or anybody that has as many successful students and as profitable testimonials. See at FlipAnythingUSA.com. I invite you to go there and look at the testimonials that are posted right there on the front page. Completely open book, and you're hearing it straight from the people that made the money. A lot of people like to talk about, oh, I did 1,000 deals, or I did 100 deals. Well, shit, a deal doesn't mean nothing. You want to know how much profit somebody makes? Deals. I mean, if you made 100 grand, you did 20 deals. You worked way too hard. That's only $5,000 a deal. And if you did 200 deals, you still didn't really make any money. I got students that made $115,000 to $800,000, on a single deal, and that's the kind of deals that I'm talking about. And but I don't talk so ambiguously. When I talk about, I'm very specific. I talk very. In fact, there's a building right there. That building right there, I bought for $1,050,000. And it is actually, I paid $1,025,000 for that. I paid cash for it too, and that was some of the proceeds from a piece of land that I made over $2.5 million on. And that one piece of land that I made $2.5 million on, I bought two buildings. I mean, I bought a bunch of stuff later on, but I still have two buildings from that bunch that are probably worth almost $7 million now. And all that stuff's paid for. I think I might owe $300,000 on one of them. But again, so that's 7 million, just one little subset of my assets worth $7 million, and I only brought that one up because I just drove by it. And where I'm heading right now, I'm going into my real estate barbell, one of them. And if you don't know what that is, be sure to hit like and subscribe, or hit subscribe. That's the most important thing, is get some knowledge. And so look, those of you that wonder why I do this, I did it originally. I made like a roadmap for my kids to follow. I have 4 kids. They're all adults now, and some went through college. Some are kind of getting their experience, deciding what they're going to do, and they have different interests right now. But they all know. They know that dear old dad made all his money in real estate, and they're definitely going to hold real estate. Whether they become investors to the degree that I am, I don't know. But I guarantee you, they all know the value of holding assets, or buying property under market and holding them, because they know that that's what funded their college. That's what funded the lifestyle that they've had. And everybody's had a fantastically safe life, and great neighborhoods, and fantastic vacations, and college educations. Just a check, writing checks for college, and buildings, and houses, and cars, and tuitions, and all that sort of thing. And the students in my class, they've been able to start to do the same thing now. It's wonderful. This Saturday, every Saturday, just almost every Saturday, I think I missed one Saturday out of a whole year. Hundreds of hours of education you get access to. But take the mentorship survey. You don't get in. I have to approve you to get in. So you go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. It's a very short survey, and fill that out. And if for no other reason, do it now. because you can go ahead and log your position at the current price because it will go up later on. But go in there and just get it filed so that you're logged in. You know, anyways. And, look, also, by the way, I'm going to tell you right now, I know there's a lot of fake gurus out there. They encourage you, oh, just put it on your card, get your mom to loan you the money or whatever, all this other crap. Listen, you can't even get into my mentorship unless you have at least $10,000. And that's not for me. That's you. I have to know that you have some money. Because if you haven't saved 10 grand and you're 30 years old, then you got bigger problems than I can help you with. You got to have some money. And but you guys have got 100. I tell people they come in and they got 100 grand. I said, man, that's fantastic. I mean, it takes discipline for somebody to save 100,000 or 80,000 or 40 or 50,000. I mean, it takes discipline to save that kind of money from a job. And what you're going to be pleasantly surprised with is that the people in my mentorship, not every one of them, but a bunch of them now, in just a couple of years, or even just in 1 year, they've got more cash in their hands off one deal than 20 years of savings. Think about that. And that's been my experience with real estate. I could never save tens of millions of dollars. Never. Not from a job. You're lucky if you even make anything close to that over your entire lifetime. But that's the experience you'll have. Take a look at this. I'm going to just say right now. And this is getting rich slowly. But ask your parents if you don't own real estate, or if you do. Listen, I love guys that are already established, that already have a home or two, or guys that maybe even have 10 properties. I have people in my class that have 20 doors, 30 doors, and you can go far beyond that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, just if you're skeptical and you're somebody that doesn't have much yet, and everybody was there, I was there too. Just take a look at the property you're in. Most people, the typical real estate buyer, buys one home, lives 30, 40 more years, then dies and gives the house to the kids, or they refi the house and pay for their mistakes, which is really, I hate to say that, see that happen, but it happens all the time. People refi their house and suck the equity to pay off their car and their boat, and that's all the other crap that they bought. But that happens a lot. But what I was going to say is, you just look at the typical person that's bought a home, and what you'll find out is that 10 years after they bought the home, they can't even afford to buy the house they're sitting in. So think about that. You buy a home, 10 years later, your home, now it's worth, quite a bit more. And if you had to go buy it today, because your wages don't keep up with inflation, you couldn't afford to buy the house that you're already living in. So you're like, oh, thank God I bought that when I did. But here's the deal. That happens to anybody. Even you buy today. 10 years later, you'd probably be lucky if you can afford to buy the home that you buy today 10 years from now. So what's super important is you buy at least two, okay? So that when 10 years goes by, and this is like the going rich slow, right? When 10 years goes by, yeah, you can't afford to buy the house you're sitting in again from your wages, so you wouldn't qualify for it. But you've got another house that you bought, or another commercial building, or I don't care if you bought a trailer park, or maybe apartment buildings. I bought all that stuff. But now you've got something working for you, right? And that's the kind of asset, the seed capital, as I like to call it, the seed capital that you keep growing. It's like a seed, just grows and starts small, and then pretty soon, it's a giant oak, a big old money oak. And that's what you want to create. Look, I, when I started, I would never have imagined that I would have hundreds of thousands of dollars in rents coming in every month. And that's what I have now. But when I first started out, I remember when I had $1,000 a month, I was thrilled. Then 10, then 20, then 30, then 50, and then it just keeps going. And what used to seem big, and now what used to seem astronomical to me, then none of it seems. That's the beauty of it, is you just don't know. You just don't. That's the beauty of it. You don't know how much you're going to make. You're going to make money. You're going to do well, but you don't know exactly what you're going to make. And if you want to be able to just look at your calculator and just work the same job forever, you'll know exactly what you're going to make. You can figure out a little bit of where, maybe guess what kind of raise you're going to get, and you'll be able to figure out exactly what you're going to make over the next 5-10 years. If all you do is work, if all you do is keep a job, you got to have an investment going for you. You got to have two. You got to have one to live in, and you got to have something on the side. I know Grant Cardone, sell your home and all that other horse shit. Don't buy that bullshit. People that sold their homes when he said sell your homes, dreadful, or dreaded. I guarantee you, they dread it. If I'd have listened to Grant Cardone, and I would never listen to Grant Cardone, but if I had, when he was telling everybody to sell their homes in 2019, I probably would have lost $2 million just on that little subset of houses that I sold at that time. And and other people, even if it was their one house, they might have lost $300,000-$400,000 by listening to some. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't. Pointing to a $40 million apartment building that you buy with other people's money, that doesn't take any expertise at all. That's just a slick salesman talking you into going in with him on a property that he can't afford without you. So, anyways, hey, I'm gonna go. I'm in my new barbell, and I can't let you see what I'm about to do because I haven't closed it yet. But hey, hit that subscribe button. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. Check out the testimonials. And this is real. This isn't bullshit. This isn't pie in the sky. I mean, I bought every property. You can see hundreds of properties I bought in over the last, and that's not that many. That's only about 5 a year for 40 years because I've been doing this for 40 years, 41 years. Um, so, anyways, if you want to be turned on to a lifestyle you're probably not aware of, just go check it out. We'll see.